What's going on, you bunch of heathens? We're back with another Fat Files video. This one, you will wear Crocs. And honestly, I remember back when Crocs weren't cool. And like, back when they were a very small brand. My dad still owns like a pair of Crocs from like 12, 15 years ago. And they're just his outside. He doesn't even have like the little strap anymore because it fell off. It's just his outdoor shoes now. If he has to run outside, like take the trash out, go for a smoke, that's what he wears. They're like his slippers, and they're fucking great. I would love to buy my own, but now that they, for whatever reason, got super fucking popular and expensive, it's just, you can't find them anymore. Either way, make sure you guys check out the original video. It's linked down below. Let's jump in.
You guys knew this one would be unhinged and you still kept requesting it, so this one's your fault.
All for that.
Today we're talking about Crocs. Okay, I'm not gonna go into depth explaining what Crocs are, okay? You know what Crocs are. It's the official footwear of people that don't give a single fuck about anything, and parents that are too lazy to tie their kids' shoes, went to JCPenney's, saw the shoes with the Velcro, and were like, that's still too much work. Give me the miniature Jason Voorhees mask and get it on my kid's foot so I don't have to do anything.
Who do you think you are?
Okay, and before you get all butthurt, my kids have Crocs too, okay? I am also that parent. In fact, Cutter, cash!
Honestly, yeah. Although we mainly bought ours. My parents bought me and my siblings Crocs for, Crocs and Keens sandals were my parents' go-to for like hiking footwear and camping footwear. Like the Crocs for just around the campsite and Keens for like hiking and if we were actually going out to do anything. Those were our go-to. God, but Keens are expensive. I'd love to get myself another pair of Keens, but Keens are just too damn expensive.
Run! It's a stampede!
Boys, show the people your Crocs. What kind of Crocs do you got?
Aww.
You got Hot Wheel Crocs. And Cutter's got Minecraft Crocs with his Minecraft shirt, because everything's got to be Minecraft.
Babies!
Exactly. All right, good job. See you boys later. Love you.
Oh, that's so cute! That's so fucking cute! That's the first time I've ever seen them! So you have, Cassius and I don't remember what his other son was called. I'm assuming those are his kids because they said, "Love you, Dad."
I'm just gonna kick your ass!
So yeah, we all know what Crocs are. And
That's
to be honest
cute
with you,
as
I
fuck,
was
though.
pretty convinced and or hoping that it was just a really long, drawn-out fad at this point. But now that I've done the research into the company and I've looked at everything, not only am I thoroughly convinced it's not a fad and it's not going anywhere, Crocs is probably going to take over the world at some point and be the only shoe anybody wears ever, like the movie Demolition Man, where every restaurant becomes Taco Bell.
Now all restaurants are Taco Bell.
No way.
And we're going to get into it right after
Yes,
word for our
Taco
sponsor.
Bell.
Delete me.
Where did you get an HK416?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, buddy.
Where are you going? Is that my blood diamond shirt? All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business
That was
model.
nice.
You give
That's
them
a
money,
nice
they
gun.
turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell. Okay, there's a saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What that means is pretty
standard.
much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service, whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. Okay, it's all an app.
You won't
So
wanna
one of
pop
two
a
things is
Zin.
happening. They're either going to feed you ads,
Yeah, I'll
and that's
pop
how
a
that
Zin.
company makes money since their service is free, or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it, and next thing you know, you're getting 17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's where Delete Me comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and
I don't really get robocalls anymore. I don't know why. I don't get robocalls anymore. I get texts. I get the fucking spam text where it's like you and 99 other people. So you have to leave it and then quit and report it as junk. And then also just the standard, hey, this is US Customs, your FedEx package is blah, blah, blah. I get that shit all the
requests on your
time.
behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then they'll continue to monitor these data brokers, and if they get your information again, Delete Me will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying Delete Me to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, our story begins like all great stories with a boys trip between three homies, Lyndon, George, and Scott, and they go out on this fishing trip in the Caribbean, and Lyndon brings with him this ugly-ass pair of foam clogs for his fishing shoes. He picked them up on his last fishing trip in Quebec from some Canadian company called Foam Creations, and they were marketed as like these boat shoes that were really good for boating because, you know, they're foam, they're super comfortable. Because they're foam, they're waterproof, they're odor resistant. If they fall in the water, they float, so it's not going to sink to the bottom of the ocean. And for that, they were pretty great. The only problem,
honestly, not that bad.
Obviously, they're ugly and dorky looking, so his two friends did the appropriate thing that dudes do, and they roasted him for it.
I was gonna say, did they give him so much shit?
But then he ends up convincing them to try it on, and holy shit, they're awesome.
It was actually worth.
Honestly, I hope he uses it. If not, I'm gonna be really upset. Let me make a note of it. Those are my Crocs. I love that fucking vine. If he doesn't use them, it's a fucking wasted opportunity.
What are those?
They are my Crocs.
It's like doing a silk bag full of puppy ears.
Call.
What?
How the hell would you even know what that felt like?
They literally go from
I have a life outside of you guys.
Stupid, keep them away from me. To hey, it's my turn to wear the sandals.
All right, who's got it?
I've got it.
Donnie.
I'll give it back to Thad, but I just need one more night with this, please.
Now, all three of these friends are like successful entrepreneurs.
I don't know what movie that is. American Pie, maybe? I don't know. I was never really into that show.
Type people, and they're like, okay, we should actually buy up this company and start selling these shoes, and we could probably even make the product better. And George is like, yeah, we could start adding a bunch of different colorways and then have color options for everybody. Which, to be fair, good idea, but Scott has the ultimate idea.
Great idea.
We should put a strap on the back so this bad boy's got four-wheel drive, and then when we don't want to be in sport mode, we can flip it forward and still wear them like normal sandals.
Honestly, also not like, I get the whole meme is four-wheel drive, sport mode, all that shit. But the strap also just makes so if you are on a boat or anywhere really, and you don't want them to fall off, they won't. So just in general, just a great idea.
You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Okay, history has just been made. They end this fishing trip, they immediately go to that Foam Creations company out of Canada, and they obtain a licensing agreement. Not only is Foam Creations gonna make the shoes for them, they also have exclusive rights to Croslite, which is a special type of foam that Crocs are made out of. So they pull some money together, get 200 pairs made, and then that same year in 2002, they go to the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, set up a table, and are literally at this boat show overhanding Crocs at people that are walking by, and then when they stop because they just got hit with a fucking shoe, and they're like,
I love that.
The person's like, hey, just try them on. And they
That's
end up
fucking
selling
hilarious.
all 200 pairs in like a couple of hours. And from here, they're off to the races. It's all downhill from here. Crocs are like a plague. They're like vampires, okay? Because now those 200 people are gonna go home, they're gonna force all their buddies to try on these funky looking shoes, and everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, and then they're gonna go buy a pair too. And that's exactly what happens. In 2003, they
Honestly, I didn't actually know that they started off as like boating shoes, but that does make a lot of sense.
76,000 pairs, and then in 2004 they have so much money that they just buy out Foam Creations as a whole. Now they own the factory and they own the patent for the special foam Croslite, so nobody's ever going to be able to copy them, which is a brilliant idea because Crocs are like the easiest shoes on the planet to make. It's literally an injection molded shoe. You just
Then why, hold up, let me look this up really quick because this is gonna fucking bother me. Let me look. Crocs. Let me look up actual Crocs. $60 on that one. 34, and that's on sale. Usually 40. 40. Why? That's just the, let's look at men's. What would a shoe for me cost? Just a standard Croc. $48. They should not be that much. And I've seen them go at like actual stores themselves. This is just on Amazon. I've seen them at actual stores for like $80. They should not be that much. I remember back when you could get a pair of Crocs, 20 bucks. Child, 10, 12 bucks.
Liquefy the resin, shoot it inside of the mold, wait 10 minutes, pull it out, ta-da, you've got a fucking Croc. Then in 2005, they rebrand and officially become Crocs. They named it that because crocodiles can be in both land and in sea, and they're super tough and they last forever. Then they launched their first big marketing campaign with the slogan.
I mean, they do last forever. Like I said, my dad still has his pair that I think he got for a Christmas present when we were young.
Ugly is beautiful, which is absolutely perfect for Crocs. These guys are experienced entrepreneurs. They're 2 years into this. They're already completely vertically integrated, and they know exactly what makes them successful. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Why is ugly is beautiful a genius idea, right? It's like saying hot is cold. You're saying two things that are objectively not the same thing are the same thing. How is that the key to success? Okay, let me lay this out for you. You see, Crocs are a lot like pugs. Pugs are a genetic abomination that would not exist on this planet if it were up to evolution and natural selection. But somehow, they're absolutely everywhere, and they're thriving, and it comes down to the simple fact that they are so ugly that the apex predator on the planet, human beings, look at them and go, haha, that shit's funny, I'm gonna keep one. In the same way humans have taken a badass wolf out of the forest and through selective breeding.
Pugs are absolutely like an abomination, like he said. But god damn it if they don't have their fucking cute moments. But holy shit, I cannot stand to hear them fucking breathe. Just a My aunt had one. I hated that thing. It was fun when we were playing a bit, but just if I ever stayed the night, just hearing constantly was horrible.
Scott, George, and Lyndon have taken Air Jordans and Timberlands and all the other cool footwear to ever exist and turned it into a Croc and said, look at this fucking abomination. Try it on.
It's actually an upgrade. Upgrade, you say?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Don't mind if I do.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to explain to you that they've finally unraveled how to market this to normal everyday people, right? Because up until now, they're just marketing it as a boating shoe, but now they've figured out how to weasel their way into the common zeitgeist and get everybody to buy this shit. If you want to look sporty and cool, you buy Nike. If you want to look sporty and not cool, you buy Adidas or Skechers. If you want to look like a blue...
Hey. I own Adidas. I like Adidas. I would rather take it. I usually will take Adidas over Nike. To be fair, the brand of shoe that I would usually go for overall, like if I had a choice, is DVS's. DVS makes some amazing footwear. Like you got just a standard everyday shoe, then you got brand, and then they make like boot-esque DVS's that are like snow boots, so they're warm, they're waterproofed, they got the tread for the winter. Like, DVS is amazing.
Guy, you buy yourself some work boots. If you want to look like a blue collar guy but don't actually want to work, you buy yourself some Timberlands. And if you want to look like a blue collar guy but only want to work like 6 hours a week at a coffee shop and then bitch about the patriarchy and social justice online the rest of the time, you buy yourself some Doc Martens, you know, that shoe that was invented by a Nazi doctor in World War II, because nothing says social justice quite like that.
Damn. My issue is I do like the Doc Martens are kind of a vibe, kind of like how Tim's are kind of a vibe. They're not the best, but God, they're kind of a vibe.
You're saying
Yes.
Let's talk about fine.
Don't worry, I got more.
Fine.
If you could almost do a kickflip 20 years ago and now both your knees crack when you get out of bed,
DC.
you probably wear Vans. And if it's fall and you want to send out the message that you're not like all the other girls, you probably wear Ugg boots, you know, like all the other girls.
I'm sorry, but the test was positive.
You're a basic bitch.
You're a basic bitch.
And then if you want to let everybody know that you don't wear deodorant, you have a small collection of crystals, and you blame all your shitty character flaws on astrology, you probably wear Birkenstocks. There, is everybody offended?
Hey! My sister is very hygienic. I don't know if she's into the whole crystal shit. Actually, I don't know much about all that shit. I know she likes the vibe of like witchy shit, but just the vibe. But no, my sister is very like borderline germophobic. Like it's no, you cannot touch any of my shit if you haven't showered. Gotta be clean, that kind of shit. She likes Birkenstocks.
All equal now. Good. Moving on.
Enough?
And then finally, Crocs became a thing. Finally, a shoe that said to the entire world, my feet are comfy and I don't care what you think about me. And if you have a problem with it, I will flip these bad boys into 4-wheel drive and we can address the issue. It is quite literally the official footwear of
I don't give a fuck.
Buh, this is a bunch of cope because you wear Crocs. Buh. No, I don't. I don't wear Crocs. I actually had to go buy a pair of Crocs for this video and I have yet to try them on.
My dad has a pair just like these, except they're the very old one. And these look fancy.
Because I'm scared.
They look fancy. They have that strap, not the other one. These are fancy Crocs.
To be completely honest with you, I treat Crocs the same way I treat cocaine. I avoid it because I'm concerned I'm gonna like it too much. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try them on.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. Yeah. This is gonna be an issue. My wife's gonna be pissed. They're even comfier than I thought. I don't know how that's possible. You know what?
No, I will say this. My big issue with Crocs. Once your feet start to sweat, the fucking squeaking of your feet on the foam is horrendous. I will fucking say that. I hate that. It's like the fucking little pug fucking wheezing. I hate it.
But fuck it, my feet are comfy. I don't care. King Arthur couldn't pull me out of these shoes. Sorry, we're
actually also another thing. Kind of surprised that Brandon Herrera. Kind of surprised he's not into Crocs because I know he's always wearing flip-flops or thongs, as the Australians like to call them. He's always wearing flip-flop. He'll wear jeans, button up with a fucking pair of flip-flops. Kind of surprised he's not into them.
Completely unhinged at this point. We got to get back to the story. So 2025, they start marketing to absolutely everybody. And if we pull up the stock chart, you can see it goes pretty fantastic. They become a...
Wait. Let me go back.
Sorry, we're completely unhinged at this point. We got to get back to the story. So 2025, they
2005.
start marketing to
Okay.
absolutely everybody. And if we pull up the stock chart, you can see it goes pretty fantastic.
Yeah, 2005, 2006, I think is around the time my parents bought me our first ones.
And they end up raising $208 million, which is the highest IPO for a shoe company ever. They then use some of that money to double down on the quirky ugliness, and they buy out a company called Jibbitz. Jibbitz was a company making those little tiny plastic things that you can shove inside the hole of a Croc that shows off, like, I don't know, your favorite sports team or your favorite
those little fucking things.
A Croc, you know.
Those things, I never actually, I've seen them around, and I think I knew a few kids who had them. But my family never got any.
In case you want somebody to look at your Croc, wondering what type of shoes you like, so you have a Croc Jibbit on your Croc.
In fact, it's called a
Basically, they
Jibbit.
just allowed more customization. They could allow your particular flavor of ugly. And to be fair to Croc, I do respect the fact that they actually bought this company out because I'm fairly confident there's no way this company had a patent on a chunk of plastic that fits inside of a hole. They probably could have just started manufacturing it themselves, brought about the end of that company, but they paid them out like $10 to $20 million instead. So
that is
I
true.
Respect that part.
I do kind of respect that. 2007.
Buh! You didn't tell everybody how in 2006 the movie Idiocracy came out and everybody in that movie wore Crocs because they thought it was the dumbest shoe ever at the time. Buh! Yeah, obviously, because everybody already knows that, okay? But hey, now that we're here, why don't you just go ahead and tell everybody that in Lord of the Rings, when Aragorn kicked a helmet and screamed, that was a real scream because he actually broke his foot. And then we can all watch Django Unchained and you can stop the movie to tell everybody that Leonardo DiCaprio accidentally cut his hand on the dinner plate and acted the way through it anyways.
Did you know? Yes.
Yeah, but they're so interesting, and people's faces when they actually didn't know that is so worth it.
There, you happy? We're all on the same page now.
Yeah,
on
I'm
to
happy.
2027. This is where they messed up absolutely everything. They took all the money and investments that they got after they bought Jibbitz. They had a ton of money left over, so they started investing in not Crocs. Basically, they turned the Croc brand into something that it wasn't and was never meant to be. They started trying to make normal shoes. They started trying to actually compete at making sandals against Birkenstock and making sneakers against Skechers. And it
I
was
think
a
I
tremendous
vaguely remember
disaster.
this.
Okay, it happens every single
Very
time a company
vaguely.
goes public. They get a bunch of investors.
I remember vaguely seeing the sandals.
investors and a bunch of MBAs that know how to do business, that have huge ideas, but have never actually done anything on their own. And they're like, you know what? We should go with my ideas of completely changing a perfectly successful company every fucking time this happens, okay? Do not do that. If you're successful...
That's right. I also have to watch the fucking Cracker Barrel video. There's a bunch of fat files I need to catch up on.
At anything, not business, not this, not that, literally anything in life. If you're successful at it, keep doing whatever made you successful at it in the first place. You go home with the girl you took to prom. It's not that complicated. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But guess what? They tried to fix it. Then 2008, housing bubble pops, economic recession, the stock price drops from like $70 a share all the way down to $1 a share. They are on the verge of bankruptcy. And then guess how they fixed it? You're never gonna guess how they fixed it. They quit making all the stupid other shoe designs and just kept making Crocs. They were doing the thing that made them successful in the first place. Shocking. Problem,
yeah, big
the fad
shocker.
that was Crocs in the early 2000s had already died and they killed it. So now they just had to go back to marketing to like boating people, people in healthcare, highly specific customers that used Crocs because they were working on their feet for long hours, because they needed a shoe that they could just rinse off in the sink if it got dirty and call it good. And they just kept marketing to that small niche minority for years. Then going back to the stock chart, you see in 2012, they got a little bit of a bump. I can only assume that the first Crocs that they sold in 2002 had finally worn out and those people bought another pair of Crocs in 2012. And then it just tapers back off and levels out again as they just keep marketing to the small niche community. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You can still make a ton of money selling to fishermen and healthcare people.
Hell yeah, you can.
Doing that forever. And you got a perfectly good business. You keep making money year over year and you're still good. But then something incredible happened in 2018, looking back at the stock chart. Okay, what happened in 2018? I'll tell you exactly what happened.
TikTok.
All the people that were little kids during the first Croc boom, when they were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, and their parents were buying them Crocs and sending them off to school because they were too lazy to tie their shoes, guess what? Now they're the 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old teenagers that determine everything that's cool in the world. Okay, you sent them off to school in stupid-looking shoes, and they've literally turned around now at 18 years old and said, joke's on you, I'm into that shit.
Exactly.
This is gonna be popular. This is the greatest generational revenge that Gen Z is ever gonna have. Are they ever gonna be able to afford a house? Probably not.
Fuck no.
Are they ever gonna have affordable health care? Almost certainly not. But you know what? They had the capacity to make these stupid looking shoes cool, and that's exactly what they did, and I'm super proud of them. And guess what all of us are gonna be wearing in the old folks' home when they're the ones taking care of us? We're gonna be wearing Crocs.
Hell yeah.
So if you don't like
Hell
Crocs,
yeah,
you better
brother.
get over it now, because trust me, it's coming. There's only 2 types of people on the planet, people that hate Crocs and people that used to hate Crocs, and you're about to be the second one. Back to the business itself though, Crocs said, okay, if Gen Z wants to make us cool, we're gonna help them out. Crocs quite literally just went, okay, what's popular? Popular people, famous people. Okay, we're gonna start doing deals with famous people. Now you've got Post Malone Crocs, you've got Justin Bieber Crocs, you've got fucking Balenciaga high heel Crocs that are selling for $800 a pair and selling.
Really? That is such a huge markup because God knows it did not cost that much and they're just regular Crocs.
Out in the first couple of hours. You know what else is popular? Memes. We can do memes. Fucking cowboy boot Crocs with spurs.
What?
I love it.
Ask for cowboy boot Crocs?
No, but I love it.
Cowboy boot Crocs?
Yes.
No. Is there a market of people that if you put it in front of their face, they'll go, oh my God, it's so ugly. I will buy it for the sole reason of wearing it to a party to get belligerently drunk? Absolutely. So they help Gen Z make it cool.
Maybe on that.
Another fad. Now, here's the thing. This is clearly a generational game, so we've got to set up the next generation for the future. We're going to sign a licensing deal with Disney, and then we're going to make Crocs cool for little kids. Okay, because now all the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, they're not going to school and daycare in stupid plain colored Crocs. Oh no, now they're going to school in fucking Lightning McQueen Crocs, Shrek Crocs. My kid's going to school in Minecraft Crocs. And guess what? He thinks it's awesome. He thinks they're the coolest shoes on the planet, and so do all the other little kids his age.
To be fair, my nephew had, when, 2-3 years ago, I think he had Lightning McQueen Crocs, and those were his favorite fucking shoes.
He's gonna be wearing Crocs for the rest of his life, and I didn't even realize I did that to him until I made this video. Okay, it's game, set, match. The teenagers right now think it's cool, the kids right now think it's cool, and everybody else left over is gonna be forced into it the second they hit the retirement home. Crocs are going to take over the world as the only type of footwear.
World domination playlist.
You can already see it in the data. Crocs is worth like $5 billion right now. They literally went from $1 a share to $85 a share already. To put that into perspective, Nike's
hats off to them.
$76 a share. Now, to be fair, Nike has way more shares and is still worth way more as a company for now, but you know who sees the writing on the wall? Nike. That's why they're trying to rip off Crocs. Kane, I know what you're thinking. Don't
look
worry,
ugly.
Hey Dude is gonna save the day. They're basically just like Crocs, except they're nowhere near as ugly, right? They're Crocs, but for people that still care about what people think about them. Guess what? In 2022, Crocs bought out Hey Dude.
It can't be stopped.
Okay, we've all seen that meme.
I was also gonna say, that and even like yet again they bought them out, but also Crocs could just do the same thing.
Blockbuster, the old movie rental place that went out of business, had the opportunity to buy Netflix for like $7 or some ridiculously cheap price back in the day, and they passed on it, and it ended up putting them out of business. Crocs did not make that same mistake. And guess what? Because of that,
Yeah,
one
they're
day
smart.
in the not too distant future, your ass is gonna be sitting in an old folks home wearing motherfucking Crocs, explaining to the nurse that back in your day, Netflix used to mail the DVDs to you and streaming wasn't a thing. And they're gonna be like, okay, grandpa, take your meds. And the world is now run by...
God, I remember that. Also, what was the Gamefly? Does anyone remember Gamefly? But Netflix, I remember back when they did that also, when they first started, you know, dipping their toes in, into streaming. And then in doing so, the streaming was absolutely atrocious. You couldn't watch anything back in the beginning of Netflix.
Crocs. I hope you're happy. I cannot believe how unhinged this got. I also am amazed at how comfy these Crocs are. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang.
Out.
And now for me to unveil my exclusive collaboration, the Fat Electrician Croc. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that famous. See ya.
God, I fucking wish. That'd be amazing. Yeah, I got, this is brand new. The Cracker Barrel one, like, there's a couple I gotta fucking catch up on. And I gotta pre-record a bunch because I'm going out of town soon. Either way, make sure you guys check out the original. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.